Hello, my name is Wade Yamaguchi. I am a DP and editor, and I wanted to give you a demo on how I use the Roary Immersive Pad Sampler Pack. Okay, so let's talk about the intro here. The first thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to have kind of a big impact for the first shot, where I found this sound from Roary, and let's see, it is in the immersive swells folder. When it's alone, it was just a little bit too empty, and so I needed to add a pad. So I added this pad here. And so you can kind of see as I play it all together, the pad's going, and then the swell is there as well. So let's play this back. So it starts off, the pad's going, here comes the swell, and then it's gonna dip off real quick. So you can see that that really gets me started in the edit. The next thing that I did in the intros, I wanted to really layer the pads to kind of give it a lot of texture and really make it feel bigger than it was, so it actually felt like part of the song. And so I added a strings pad right here, which actually what I'll do is I'll just solo this so we can hear it. So you can hear the strings are kind of coming in. And then this pad down here is a lower frequency, and that just kind of levels everything out. So you can hear that going. I ended up using a song from Roary on the music bed called Stay. And I really liked the last chorus in this song because it just felt really big. And I didn't want to use anything else. I just wanted that one segment. What I did here now is I used another swell, and then I used two hits down here. And so basically there's a swell and then these two hits. So if we solo these, you can kind of hear what I did here. There is the swell and then the two hits. A little bit of a swell. And then there's a hit. So the hit right here, these two tracks, there's a piano hit that's a little bit higher frequency and then a lower frequency. That's basically happening right at the downbeat of the chorus of my main music track. And what I did here is I added a marker right on the downbeat of the music track. And the way that you can do that is you highlight the track, you scroll through, and you find the downbeat, and then you hit M on your keyboard, and that pops up a marker right there, which allows you to move everything, move your tracks to the exact point so it all lines up. You can see here on the swell, I did the same thing. One thing that I had to do for this particular hit was I had to change the key. So this track right here is a hit, and it's actually an A flat. And the key of my music track is actually in D major. Which is good to know actually when you're licensing a music track and you're using the pads, this immersive pads pack from Roary, is to be able to know what key your music is in so you can line everything up so it sounds right. And so what I did here was I found this pitch shifter. This is native plugin to Premiere. As you can see, it's in the effects. You can just go in here and you type in pitch shifter. So I hit the pitch shifter, and I have this track highlighted, and I'm gonna drag and drop it and then hit edit. And the default setting right here, it's pretty close to being where you're gonna need everything to live. Don't mess with anything below your semitones. So your semitones are basically the only thing you're gonna mess with, and that basically moves things up a half step, full step in your key. So if you know music theory, you can kind of figure it out. But those that don't know music theory can just listen and then move the semitones until it sounds good. So one way to do that is to actually grab a pad sound, and you're gonna copy it, move it over, and so that you have that underneath, which is gonna allow you to listen to the pad and then get the right pitch shifter for your track that you're trying to adjust, the key. Okay, so right now let's go ahead and take a listen. So you can see there, it doesn't sound quite right. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start adjusting these semitones until it sounds good. So let's just move it up to 3. Let's see how that sounds. See, it's getting a little bit there, but it's still a little flat. And so let's go a little bit more. Okay, and there it is. And so basically you're listening, kind of trial and error kind of situation until it sounds right. And it can also go to -6, and that it'll still sound right. And then it's a whole stop lower, stop step. I don't know. And so you've got a whole it's lower frequency there, but it's still the same key. I'm gonna keep it at 6, at +6, because I feel like it fits better in the mix. So as this music track is going, I have these different swells and hits at different points, and I line those up based on my music track, and I set these markers in so that I could line them up perfectly on my downbeats. And these are really helping me kind of like move the edit forward, bringing some extra energy. It's a lower hit right here, a swell, and then a hit. So this one's interesting because it doesn't sound super great when there's no music, but when I add the music, it actually really works. So we got this, it's building up right there. And so again, it's just a hit right here, the swell, and then a hit. It all fits with the music. It's a trial and error kind of situation, you know? And so here, and this one, I'm gonna mute the track. Again, there's a high frequency and low frequency hit right here, so it feels bigger. It's like you're playing the octaves on a piano, basically. This track is actually in D major, so it's the same one, but I wanted it at higher frequency, and so basically I moved it up so it's higher sounding. So if I solo this right here, let's listen to it at 0, so there's no pitch shifting going on. Okay, and then, so what I ended up doing was I added it so it's higher. So you can see there, it's the same note, but it's just higher. And so when it's all together, it sounds nice in the mix. It cuts through a little bit more. So you got the low and then the high. So that's one thing that you can do with the pitch shifter, is you can go a whole octave higher. Similar to the intro, I've got this swell right here, and then I've got these 3 hits that are down here, and they all are cohesive in the sense of they're at different frequencies, but obviously I'm making sure they're all in the right key. And then I've got these 3 pads for my outro. One thing that I'm trying to do is I want it to feel like it's a part of the music track. And so with that, I'm fading in these pads right here. There's 1, 2, and 3 right here. If I can highlight them all, there you go. So you can see all 3 of them. Those are all pads. They start at the same time, but then you can see they taper off. And so it starts big because the music track is big. So it starts big and then it slowly fades out. So you can see right here, this one fades out first. Right here, that one fades out, and then that one, and then my last track down here is the one that goes through the end of the song. And then the last thing that I have right here is a final swell to kind of bookend my edit, and it just cuts right to black. I've got a little glitch on the end right here, and it kind of goes up crescendos and then it cuts off. And I really like the way that it felt. It was similar to the intro, kind of feels all like it's one piece. It's got the same vibe, you know? So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's kind of how I've used this pad pack that has, really it's helped out a lot with the intros and outros of songs. Because like I said, a lot of times you just want to use the chorus of whatever song you're licensing. but then you need the intro and outro in order to make it feel all cohesive, you know? And so I think that's the big part about the Roary pad pack that I've got that is really kind of elevates my edits now. And I've been really happy with it. I've now done a commercial edit with it, and the client was super happy with the way that the piece turned out, because I was able to do this intro and outro kind of situation similar to this edit. And it's I think that there's a lot of value that you bring as an editor when you have these tools like this. So hopefully this was insightful, and I hope that you enjoy being able to use this pad pack.